Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Adult Basketball Captains meeting for our spring season. Throughout this meeting, if you have any questions or comments, please throw them in the comment section below, and we will get those answered for you throughout the meeting. So let's get started. First of all, my name is Autumn Triplet. I am the coordinator over this league. My contact information can be found on this page and also on Quick Scores. If you ever need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. My phone number that's listed here does not receive text, so you can call and leave a message, or you can shoot me an email. I respond pretty well to emails or calls. With that being said, I do work Monday through Thursday in the office, so if you're emailing me Thursday night or Friday, expect to hear back from me on Monday. Okay, first item on the list is jerseys. So all teams need to provide their own jerseys. You need to have numbers on the front and the back. That does not mean tape numbers. They need to be, you can draw the numbers on, but they cannot be taped. Tape in the past has just fallen off and it doesn't stick, especially when people are moving and defending each other and it gets a little sweaty. So no tape on numbers. Jerseys need to have a light and a dark side, and on your team you can't have duplicate numbers. So you can't have 2 3s and 2 4s. Everyone needs to have their own set of numbers. You can order jerseys wherever you want. We don't have any requirements beyond these ones, as long as you have a front and back number and a light and dark side. All of the games for the Spring League are played at the Provo Recreation Center, so there's the address right there, and then you can see right here, this is the door you will enter in. At the rec center, you're only allowed to have water, so you can't be bringing in snacks and other food or drinks, but you are allowed to bring in water. And then you're allowed to enter the facility 15 minutes before your game. And when you walk in into the front desk, you can just say you're here for adult basketball, and they will mark you down and let you in. So please remember that the rec center, we are guests at the rec center. They allow us to use 2 of their gyms for our programming, which we are very grateful for, but when you're at the rec center, please just be respectful to the rec center workers, the staff, and then all the facilities. If you ever do have a question while you're at the rec center, the front desk staff is happy to help along with our staff that is on the court with you, but please just be respectful while we're at the rec center. For the league, all of your information can be found on quickscores.com/provo. The front page looks like this, and then I'll show you. You will go to the basketball section and go to the adult basketball. It will look like this. This has all the information you need to know. So anything with rules like player code of conduct, adult summer basketball rules, all of that, my contact information. There's even a video for coaches and captains on how to add players to your roster. So that can be found right here. So if you have questions throughout the season, I would first advise you to go to Quick Scores and then reach out to me. However, if you can't find on Quick Scores, feel free to reach out. At the bottom of Quick Scores, you'll find this in the bottom. It's Spring 2026 basketball. This is where you're going to find your schedule, so you can click on your league. So, for example, if I clicked on men's upper, it would then pull up this. These are all our teams in men's upper. If you then want to just look at your team and your schedule, you can click on your team name, but this will just bring up the schedule based on the weeks, and you can click through there. So Quick Scores will have your postseason tournament and your schedule throughout the season, along with locations and times. A few rules of emphasis this season that we wanted to point out before the season starts. Based on feedback from our winter, a lot of teams were like, we didn't know this rule or we didn't hear of this rule, so please read through all of the rules on Quick Scores. However, a few ones to specifically point out is dunking is not allowed before the game, after the game, or during halftime. You are allowed to dunk during the game, but not before, after, or during halftime. If you are dunking during prohibited times, that will result in a technical. No if, and, or buts, dunking, grabbing the rim, anything like that. This is a rec center rule. We're glad that they let us dunk. We know other cities around us don't even allow people to dunk, so we're glad that we are able to let you guys dunk during the game, but please just follow that rule. Another one is all F words will result in an automatic technical. That doesn't mean if you say it to yourself or to a teammate, whatever, if it comes out of your mouth and a ref hears it, they will give you a technical. Another new rule that has changed from the Winter League, games will consist of 2 20-minute running halves. The clock will stop during the last minute of the first half and the last 2 minutes of the second half. However, when there is a 15-point lead by either team, the clock will continue to run. So based on feedback from the Winter League, a lot of people were getting frustrated towards the end of the games when teams were just wasting clock, and so we did add another stoppage of the first minute of the last half. So those are some rules of emphasis. Another one we want to highlight that was brand new to winter sports was the new sportsmanship scores. There was a lot of feedback, and because this is a newer thing, we are revising it and taking in that feedback and trying to make it better. So a sportsmanship score, you'll be given a score every single time you play. Then we will record that score and average your scores throughout the season. You can get up to 5 points a game. That's if you scored 5 out of 5, that's like 100%. At the end of the season, if your team's sportsmanship score over the course of the season is below a 70%, your team will not be allowed to play in the postseason. So I will hurry and go over the areas that you're scored on. And how many points they're all worth. So first of all, the first point is that your team checked in on time at the score table. This is simply showing your ID, checking in, writing your number, and putting your initials on it. The next one is no warnings were issued to the coach or the team for conduct. So that's anything that violates the player code of conduct. For example, if you're harassing the refs, if you're complaining or anything like that, or if you're being too aggressive with the team and officials and staff have to warn you, you're going to lose that point. However, if you play a clean game and politely talk to the officials when you have a question or a comment or an issue, you can gain that point. The next one is worth 2 points, and is no technicals or flagrant fouls were called on the team. So if any technicals administered to your team during the game at all, you will automatically lose these 2 points. However, no technicals, no flagrants, you will be given those points regardless. And then the last one is your team completed post-game sportsmanship routine. This is pretty standard across all leagues. We all know the sportsmanship routine. You go through, shake hands, say thank you to the officials and the staff if they're sitting there. And then specifically for us, you need to exit the rec center within 10 minutes of the game ending. And that is going to be worth 1 point. So to score a 70% on the season, your team needs to average a 3.5 throughout the season. As you can see, and you can review back the sportsmanship scores, you can get 1 point for checking in, 1 point for having no issues or sportsmanship conduct, 2 points for not having flagrants and technicals, and then another point for just helping clean up and do the sportsmanship normal handshake throughout the night. If you have any questions about sportsmanship scores, please reach out to me. I will send out like a mid-season sportsmanship score update. Just be like, hey, you're close to 70%, or oh, you're well above 70%. Keep up the good work. But we really do want to emphasize sportsmanship, and we want everyone to have fun and also play respectful. A few reminders as we end this meeting. Please order your jerseys if you don't already have them. Games start next Monday, so if you hurry and ship them on Amazon or any other carrier that has quick shipping, you'll have them in time. But please get on those ASAP. Go over the league rules with your team. They're linked on Quick Scores. Go check them out, read through them. If you have any questions or concerns, reach out. Make sure as a captain that you input your roster onto Quick Scores before the game, and then make sure all your players' waivers are completed. If a waiver is not completed on that first day, you or your team, whoever's waiver is not done, will not be allowed to play. There's no ifs, ands, or buts there. That's a liability waiver. We cannot let you participate if that's not filled out. And then be sure to double check your schedules that can be found on Quick Scores along with all the rules. Once again, if you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to me. I'm happy to help out, especially with Quick Scores if you're struggling there. I know sometimes technology is great, but it doesn't always work as smoothly as we'd like. So if you have any questions, please reach out. And thank you and have a good night.